Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Shilpa Data Insights. I hope all of you are doing well. So we have already started this playlist of AI. So in the previous video, we have already covered how to install the GitHub Copilot CLI. If you have not watched that video, I would highly recommend you to actually watch it, set up it first because it will just take hardly 2 or 4 minutes to set up your GitHub Copilot CLI, and then you can start using it. You can use it with the help of your terminal, or you can use it with the help of an IDE like Visual Studio Code. So in this video, in the last video, I've showed you how to do it in terminal. In this video, I'll show you how to do it in VS Code, right? It's the same thing. And we will actually go ahead and do the real use case with the help of the CLI. If you have some files in which you really want some insights, go ahead, get started with those files after you have watched this particular video. So without any delay, let's get started with GitHub Copilot CLI for today's agenda. So in today's, we will be actually doing some productivity work with the help of the GitHub Copilot CLI with some hands-on demos. And then we will choose the right mode. There are different modes where you can work with GitHub Copilot. That's an interactive, plan, or programmatic. And then we will also talk about slash commands. If you are not knowing these commands, then do know it because it's very useful. Now, we will be working on the sample project that I have, that is the book app project, and we will see what exactly it is. We will ask the questions to the Copilot agent itself, and then we will write some scripts, maybe in Python, right? And what are the modes? It's super important because modes are something which will help you understand your project, create your work in a very efficient manner. So the first mode is plan. What does plan mean? Plan means if in case there's a complex task, then you can actually map out to route that and review it if in case there is anything. Then comes is your interactive mode where you can explore the things, you can ask the questions, get the feedback, and it's like a real time, like you are interacting with me, right? If you say something from other end, that's an interaction. Now the next is the programmatic, where you have your quick specific task and you have to stay it in an environment and get it the result fast. So let's take a very layman example here, and let's see how exactly that works. So in the plan mode, what happens is when you are, let's say you want to go to a restaurant and pick up something, or you want to order something and you want to eat, right? So you, for example, from Delhi, a particular Dwaraka place, you have to go to Gurgaon, right? So you have to plan your drive. It's a long drive, basically. It's a traffic, there's a huge traffic, right? So you have to plan it. So in order to plan it, what you will do is you will first check the map, you will check the GPS, right? And map the route. If in case there is any uh, traffic, right? So in that case, you have to stop and take a different route. In that way, you have to plan the drive. So that's a planning. So if let's say AI says your Google Map says take this route, but you see, okay, it's a traffic. You say, okay, no, let's take the B route. That's your planning thing. Now, once you reach it, you are actually talking to a waiter. Now, if you are talking to a waiter, you are having a real-time conversation. So, for example, you ask a question, can you give me butter chicken? So the waiter may say, oh, butter chicken is not available. Can you go ahead and get some, order some Chinese item like maybe a chow mein or a Manchurian or something, right? So, and then you will ask, okay, what is your favorite Chinese item? What is the most famous Chinese item that is available? So the restaurant can tell you, the waiter can tell you, like it is the Manchurian, right? So you have to order it. So that's an interaction that you are having with the waiter to get the best out of that restaurant, what you want to eat, right? Then you can also drive through ordering. So you have a specific request and then you just order it on the way, say, okay, get this order done so that I can go ahead and just pick it up, and as soon as I reach, I can eat up, right? So that's your programmatic mode of thing. So from collaborating planning to the quick result, that is how you can actually work with CLI. Is it not useful? Like you are planning the things, then you are interacting with it, right? Say no, this or that, and then programmating it. Wait. The next is the commands. As I mentioned, the commands are very useful, super useful, because let's say you have to type something. Instead of typing, you can do a backslash, okay, and then you can put that command. So there are some predefined command that's already there. So for example, there are different models that is available, right? You have your ChatGPT, you have your Claude, you have your Opus, you have your DeepSeek, whatever models you have. What you can do is you can put a backslash, you can put a model, and you can put a model name, and it's going to select that particular model. So that's actually without using the mouse, you are just typing it up, and that's what you are getting. And if you are a developer, the most favorite thing is actually typing rather than just using mouse, right? So that's what it is. Now the next is, let's say you don't remember any command, right? You ask the CLI itself, the copilot, can you help me out? What was the command for this particular scenario? So you just type backslash help, and it is going to give you all the list of the commands that it has, right? So that's very useful. Then you can also ask, let's say when you want a very quick answer, right, without actually, you are working on something and without derailing your current task, you can just put a backslash and ask. Then you can also clear the commands, right, so that you can start with a new context. If you want to do a plan, as we suggested the plan mode, you can just do a backslash and plan, and it's going to plan the things out before actually coding, right? So it's going to, if you have a very complex thing, it's going to actually help you dividing that complex task into simple tasks, and then you say, okay, please plan me this particular thing, and this is right, and you do it, right? Now then you also have an exit. So let me start my Copilot. So it says I want to access. I'll say yes. Okay. Now I see the Copilot is ready. Okay. In this Copilot, I will first go ahead and try to write some Python script. So I'll say write a Python script for reversing a string. It's a very simple thing, right? I'll just ask it to write the Python script. So it's going to execute it. It's trying to write the script. So you see, it has created the complete script itself. Okay. It has done the reverse of a string. It has created the main function for me, right? And it also says what is the usage of it, right? So this is an example, hello world. So it can actually do this reverse of the string, right? So what is the time complexity of this? So if you see here, I'm just saying what is the time complexity, and I'm mentioning of this, so it remembers what exactly was done, right? So then it says that the time complexity is O of n, and what is the reason behind what is the time complexity of it, right? So this is what exactly you can communicate with your CLI. Now this is an interactive mode in which I'm actually doing. So if you will see this arrow, that is greater than arrow, if you see that greater than arrow means you can type in a natural language and it is going to give you the answer. Earlier it used to be a tilde symbol, which was not in the Copilot. So to start Copilot, you have to start, and then you will see this symbol, and then you can start typing. Now let's go ahead and do a real use case. So I have this books.py. So I'll say, tell me what is this books.py about, right? So I'll do books.py about. So it's going to see where is my book. Okay, I've written book.py. Let's see if it's able to find it or not. So it should be books.py. Okay, so it's reading the repository, the complete repository. It says, see, no match found because I wrote the wrong file name, right? Could not find this book.py, paste the content of the book.py. Okay, give the repo path, relative path of book.py, right? So what I will do is I'll do an other, right? I'll say the file I was referring was books.py. Okay, so I said this is the file I was referring. So let's see if it is able to find that file. So it says yes, one file was found. See, this is the file that I have, right? So if I click on this, you will be able to see this particular books.py. It says what is this books.py about. It has a data class with the title, author, year, read flag, and it has a book collection which holds the list of the books objects. It's the data.json and so on, right? So it has given you what exactly it is there, right? So I also have another file here which is book_app.py. So I have it inside this book app project, inside the samples, right? So I'll say, what is this? I'll mention with the help of at. So if you see at means what is the file it is referring to, I'll start writing samples. So you see it has samples. Now inside samples, what I have is the book app dot project. Okay, so I'll write book hyphen app hyphen project. Okay, so inside this I have what? Book app.py. Okay, so I've asked what is this about, right? So it's going to actually document me what it is about. So instead of reading the Python code, I'm actually reading it in a natural language, which is very useful. Let's say you have a very big code base, you can actually do that. So it says it creates a global collection instance. It has some commands like list, add, remove, find, help, and so on, right? And it has some interactive prompts like add, remove, find that you can do it. Okay, so this is how you can actually communicate with the Copilot with the help of the symbol at if you want to refer to a particular file. And if you don't want at, you can just put your file name. It's going to research whole documents, whatever files you have, and then it's going to give you the result. But in this case, if you put a specific file, it's going to just read that specific file instead of searching it completely from your documents, and it's going to give you the result. Now the next is there is a slash command I was talking about, right? So if I click on the slash, see there is a lot of slash command like agent, add directory, you have to ask, autopilot, change log, you can compact, cdw, diff is to find the difference between the git branches that you have, help, right, IDE, and so on. So you can use anything, like you can use login, you can use logout. What I will do is I'll do a model. Okay, so I'll want to see which model is getting used, right? So it's used GPT-5. Okay, it's not allowing me to type GPT-5. See, it actually gives you the supported models. These are the supported models that are present, right? And model GPT-5 is not there. So available models are GPT-5 mini. So you have to put the actual name. Otherwise, it actually gives you what exactly is the wrong that you have done, and you can actually do it, right? Or you can also do a hash and help. It's going to give you all the list of the commands that you can use, like at is for mention files, hash is for commands, and to execute a shell command, you can put an exclamation mark. If you have some issues and pull requests, you can put an hash, and so on. You can just read out this. It's super helpful actually, right? Now the next thing is how you can communicate with other things, right? So for example, I want to close this, so I have to press an escape button. Now I got this. What is the bug in books.py? So I'm just asking, is there any bug that is already there in books.py or not? So it's actually going to think and give me the result out of it, whether there's a issue with it. So this is actually very useful when you are working on day to day, and if in case you are stuck with something, you can ask this particular model and it's going to give you, yeah, so there is a bug. So data file is data.json is a relative path. So the app reads relative to the current working directory. So running the CLI from a different folder will actually fail, right? So this is what it actually says if in case there's any problem. You understand how to do it. Now let me show you different modes as well that you can do here. Okay, so you can see here, you can add the context to it, right? So these things we will learn in the upcoming sessions, right? And you can actually do this. So if in case you want to do a plan of this, you can put a plan, right? And you can give the prompt what you want to plan. Let's say how to remove a number from list of 10 numbers. So I've given a little bit of question. It's not a complex question, but it's going to think what exactly it's going to do, right? So it's actually thinking in it will give you in the plan mode. Okay, I did not use plan, so you can use a slash and plan, and then actually you can write and it's going to do it. Here it's going to actually execute the complete command. So it's actually creating a short sorry, yes, it actually took the plan. So it is creating a short plan.md and then outlines the approaches, right? So this is my plan mode. So by value or by index. Okay, I want it by value, right? So it's going to give me the thing. So as my question was a very vast, so it actually told me how exactly you want to remove that element, right? So the plan is saved to the session plan.md and tools added. You chose by this. Next step is to implement it, right? So you can go ahead and say, do you want to implement? If you do yes, it's going to implement. If you do no, it's not going to implement. So right now it was in the plan mode, as you can see, right? So I don't want to implement. So I'll just click no. So it's not going to implement the thing, but it has created a strategy how exactly to remove that element. So it says plan is saved. What do you like to do next? I would say I don't want to do anything right now. Let me just discard the plan. So it's done. So I hope you understood how exactly to interact with CLI in the first step itself, right? In the next upcoming session, we will have more insights to it, how exactly to carry on our day-to-day activity. So if you understood this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, and keep learning and keep growing.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.